Greetings, loyal fans of TV Day's Drama Digest. Welcome to another pulse-pounding dive into the intricate, emotion-charged world of Days of Our Lives. The episode that aired on July 28, 2025, delivered a whirlwind of suspicion, intrigue, and jaw-dropping revelations that have left Salem buzzing and us on the edge of our seats. Today, we're peeling back the layers of a mystery that has the entire town whispering. Is Tonny DiMera, the charming aristocrat we've all come to know, truly who he claims to be, or could he be the cunning and dangerous Andre DiMera, masquerading in his brother's skin? Join us as we unravel this tantalizing enigma, exploring every clue, every glance, and every heart-stopping moment that define this unforgettable episode. Buckle up, because Salem's secrets are about to spill. A legacy in question. Tonny's unexpected ambition. The episode opens in the opulent DiMera mansion, where the air is thick with tension and the weight of legacy. Tonny DiMera, long known for his refined demeanor and aversion to the cutthroat power struggles that define his family, stands at the center of the storm. His tailored suit is impeccable, his posture regal, but there's a glint in his eyes that feels off. For years, Tonny has distanced himself from the corporate battlefield of DiMera Enterprises, choosing a life of quiet dignity over the ruthless ambition that has consumed so many of his kin. His kindness, his warmth, and his disinterest in the family's power games have earned him the affection of many in Salem, including Gwen, whose sharp instincts and troubled past make her a keen observer of human nature. But today, something has shifted. Tonny's usual charm is tinged with an edge of determination, a hunger that feels foreign to those who know him best. In a dimly lit boardroom, he pores over documents detailing DiMera Enterprises' operations, his fingers tracing the numbers with a fervor that borders on obsession. The camera lingers on his face, capturing a fleeting smirk that feels more predatory than polished. This is not the Tonny we've come to know, a man who once turned his back on the DiMera legacy to preserve his soul. This Tonny is driven, calculating, and unapologetically ambitious, determined to reclaim control of DiMera Enterprises from its current overseers, the formidable Titan Industries. The shift in Tonny's demeanor hasn't gone unnoticed, least of all by Gwen, whose own history of deception makes her uniquely attuned to the subtlest changes in those around her. Gwen, with her cascade of dark hair and piercing gaze, has always held a soft spot for Tonny. His kindness toward her, especially during her tumultuous early days in Salem, forged a bond of trust that she's rarely extended to others. But as she watches Tonny now, striding through the DiMera mansion with a newfound swagger, her instincts prickle. This isn't the man who offered her sage advice over tea at the Horton Town Square. This isn't the Tonny who shunned the family's legacy for a life of integrity. This is someone else entirely. A confrontation sparks suspicion. The heart of the episode lies in a charged confrontation between Gwen and Tonny, set against the backdrop of the DiMera Gardens, where the scent of roses mingles with the weight of unspoken truths. Gwen, dressed in a sleek black dress that mirrors her sharp intellect, approaches Tonny as he sips a glass of bourbon, his eyes fixed on the horizon. The scene is bathed in the golden glow of dusk, but the atmosphere is anything but serene. Gwen's voice is steady, but laced with concern as she broaches the subject that's been gnawing at her. "Tonny," she begins, her tone careful, "I thought you were done with DiMera Enterprises. You always said the family business wasn't worth the cost to your soul." Tonny's response is immediate, his voice clipped and cold. "It's my legacy, Gwen," he says, his eyes narrowing as he sets down his glass with a deliberate clink. "The DiMera name belongs to me, and I intend to take it back." The words hang in the air, sharp and unyielding, and Gwen's breath catches. This isn't just ambition, it's a declaration of war, a stark departure from the Tonny who once dismissed the corporate world as a den of vipers. She presses further, her curiosity outweighing her caution. "Are you really coming back to that world, Tonny?" After everything you've said. Tony's reaction is a masterclass in controlled fury. He turns to face her, his posture rigid, his smile tight and devoid of warmth. "It's none of your business, Gwen," he snaps, his voice low but laced with a venom that sends a chill down her spine. The camera zooms in on Gwen's face, capturing the flicker of shock and suspicion in her eyes. This isn't the Tony she knows. This isn't the man who treated her with kindness and respect. This is someone darker, someone dangerous, someone who feels eerily familiar. As Tonny strides away, leaving Gwen alone in the garden, her mind races. The pieces begin to fall into place, each one more unsettling than the last. The way Tonny's smile didn't quite reach his eyes. The cadence of his speech, sharper and more calculated than before. The ruthless ambition that seems to pulse through him like a second heartbeat. Gwen's thoughts drift to a name that has haunted Salem for decades, Andre DiMera, Tony's malevolent brother, whose schemes and manipulations left a trail of devastation in their wake. Could it be possible? Could Andre, long believed dead, have returned in Tony's guise, orchestrating a grand deception to reclaim the DiMera empire? Gwen's quest for the truth. Gwen's suspicion ignites a fire within her, propelling her into a quest for answers that promises to unravel one of Salem's greatest mysteries. She begins her investigation in secret, her every move cloaked in the shadows of her own troubled past. In a gripping montage, we see Gwen poring over old newspaper clippings in the Salem Public Library, her fingers tracing headlines about Andre's supposed demise. The articles are cryptic, filled with the kind of ambiguity that only a DiMera could inspire. "Body never recovered," one headline screams, and Gwen's eyes narrow as she jots down notes in a leather-bound journal. Her investigation takes her to the Brady pub, where she corners Steve Johnson, Salem's go-to private investigator, whose weathered face and sharp instincts make him the perfect ally. Over a steaming cup of coffee, Gwen leans in, her voice barely above a whisper. "Steve, I need your help," she says, her eyes darting around to ensure they're not overheard. "Something's wrong with Tony. He's not himself, and I think he might be Andre." Steve's eyebrow arches, but he doesn't dismiss her. He's seen too much in Salem to discount even the wildest theories. "You're talking about a DiMera switcheroo," he says, his voice gruff but intrigued. "If you're right, Gwen, this is big. Bigger than big." Steve agrees to dig into Tony's recent activities, promising to unearth any clues that might confirm Gwen's suspicions. The scene shifts to Steve tailing Tony through the streets of Salem, his camera clicking as he captures Tony meeting with a shadowy figure in a back alley. The exchange is brief but intense, with Tony handing over a thick envelope that could contain anything from blackmail material to corporate secrets. Steve's expression hardens as he snaps a photo, knowing that whatever Tony or Andre is planning, it's bound to shake Salem to its core. Meanwhile, Gwen's investigation takes a personal turn as she confronts Anna DiMera, Tony's devoted wife, in the DiMera living room. The scene is a masterclass in emotional tension, with Anna's loyalty to Tony clashing against Gwen's relentless pursuit of the truth. "Anna, you've known Tony longer than anyone," Gwen pleads, her voice breaking with urgency. "Does he seem different to you? Does he feel like the man you married?" Anna's eyes fill with tears, her hands trembling as she clutches a framed photo of her and Tony from happier times. "He's under stress, Gwen," she insists, but her voice wavers, betraying her own doubts. The camera lingers on Anna's face, capturing the flicker of fear that suggests she, too, has sensed a change in her husband. The DiMera legacy. A house built on secrets. The mystery of Tony's identity is more than a personal drama. It's a reflection of the DiMera family's storied history of deception and betrayal. The episode weaves in flashbacks that deepen the stakes, showing glimpses of Andre's past schemes, his manipulation of Tony's identity, his ruthless pursuit of power, and the chaos he unleashed on Salem. These memories, narrated through Gwen's internal monologue, paint a chilling picture of a man who thrived on control and deceit. Andre was a master of disguise, Gwen muses as she flips through an old DiMera family album, her fingers pausing on a photo of Tonny and Andre side by side, their faces eerily similar yet worlds apart. The flashbacks also highlight Tonny's own struggles with his family's legacy. In one poignant scene, we see a younger Tonny standing in the DiMera mansion, his face etched with disgust as he rejects his father Stefano's offer to join the family business. "I won't become you," Tonny declares, his voice firm but heavy with sorrow. The contrast between that Tonny and the man Gwen encountered in the garden is stark, fueling her determination to uncover the truth. If Andre has indeed taken Tonny's place, what has become of the real Tonny? Is he alive, in prison somewhere, or worse? The questions pile up, each one more unsettling than the last. A cliffhanger that shakes Salem. The episode's climax is a heart-stopping moment that leaves viewers gasping. Gwen, armed with a cryptic clue from Steve, a receipt for a private jet to an undisclosed location, tracks Tonny to a secluded warehouse on the outskirts of Salem. The scene is drenched in suspense, with the camera following Gwen as she navigates the dark, labyrinthine corridors, her breath visible in the cold air. She hears voices and creeps closer, peering through a crack in the door. There, illuminated by a single flickering bulb, is Tonny, his face contorted in a way that feels utterly alien. He's speaking to an unseen figure, his voice low and menacing. "The plan is in motion," he says, a chilling smile spreading across his face. "No one will suspect a thing." Gwen's hand flies to her mouth, stifling a gasp. The camera zooms in on her wide eyes, reflecting the weight of what she's witnessed. Is this proof that Tonny is Andre, or is there another layer to this deception? As she turns to leave, her foot catches on a loose board, the sound echoing through the warehouse. Tonny's head snaps up, his eyes locking onto the door. "Who's there?" he demands, his voice a dangerous growl. The screen cuts to black, leaving Gwen's fate and the truth about Tonny hanging in the balance. The sands of the hourglass keep turning. This episode of Days of Our Lives is a tour de force of suspense and drama, weaving together personal stakes, corporate intrigue, and a mystery that threatens to upend everything we know about Tonny DiMera. Gwen's quest for the truth has set her on a dangerous path, one that could expose a deception of unimaginable proportions. Is Tonny truly Andre, or is there another explanation for his transformation? And if Andre has returned, what does it mean for the DiMera legacy, and for Salem? As the hourglass continues to turn, one thing is certain: Salem is a town where secrets never stay buried for long. Will Gwen uncover the truth before it's too late, or will she become the next casualty in the DiMera family's deadly game? Tune in to the next episode of Days of Our Lives to find out, and keep following TV Days Drama Digest for all the latest updates on this gripping storyline. Share your theories in the comments below. What do you think is really going on with Tonny? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.